Morning you guys, it's Karen and I'm here to do a requested video. This was requested by quite a few people. When I did my favourite oils, my favourite skincare, basically I did two videos, one for oils and hydrators, one for actives. You asked, am I going to do the same for makeup? And I thought, well, I hadn't really thought of that. I have done that in the past, but my channel does gear more towards skincare nowadays. But I think it will be interesting to a lot of you to see what eyeshadow palettes I love, considering how many I've bought over the years and how many I've given away recently and showed you in videos where I've had a clear out. So I've chosen four that are my kind of, if I had to pick four palettes out of the ones I've got left, these are my absolute favourites and I would take these four and be happy. I'll also show you what's left, i.e. my eyeshadow palette collection, because it's not massive anymore. I think I've got 3, 6, probably about 15 palettes, and I'll tell you why they weren't my ultimate favourites, if you like. So the first one is this is the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette, and I just adore this, and I'm wearing this today. I've got the colour on called Liar, and then I think I put this one in my crease, and this has got the lovely colour that you can use on your brow. I didn't use this for my outer corner. I used the next one that I'm going to show you. I don't know why I keep this brush. I think because the brushes that come with the Urban Decay palettes I feel like are really good. Like this one is pretty good for brow colour or for a crease. I just forget to use it. But I still love this palette. I just think it's absolutely beautiful. And there's, you know, I've used this. You can see I've used a few of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 lid colours there because I don't really use mattes, and I think it's beautiful. Next is the Anastasia Norvina palette. I again adore this palette, and when I'm choosing these are the very few palettes, these four, that I will use more than like 1 or 2 colours. And it always reminds me of when I used to buy CDs, albums. I generally only liked 2 or 3 songs off the album, and so I always used to feel it was a waste of money. I've never been big into music anyway, to be honest, but the same thing happens with palettes. There's like 1 or 2 colours that I love, but with these palettes there's more than that. So I don't use that one very much, but all of these along here I love and have used, and as you can see I've also used the mattes as well, some really good. It's good that there's a brown colour, that's what I've got in my outer corner. It's good that there's a crease colour, it's good that there's a brow colour, you know, it's got everything in it. And it's got a lovely little pop of colour with that beautiful sort of rose gold and then that purple. So love this palette, really love it. If I had to choose one Anastasia, it would be this. So Naked 3, Norvina, oops. This one is a bit of a cheat because I don't know whether you would call this a palette, it's a mini palette, but it's my Viseart Theory in, I think this is called Amethyst. I'll double check and I'll link it for you anyway, but this is just beautiful and I love these 3 colours are perfect. This one in the crease, this one kind of on your brow or even just above your crease, this one on the outer corner, and it goes with all 3 of these colours, which I love as well. This one is my absolute favourite. It's very much like the colour I've got on today from the Naked 3 is called Liar, and this is quite a lot like it but a little bit more purpley. Beautiful pink and that really stunning red, and so I love this, and I just love the Viseart shadows and couldn't be without them. So that's my third, and then my fourth one is a matte palette, and it is the Too Faced Natural Matte, and I just think the colours in here are perfect. They're really, like, you've got everything you need in here, you know, because you could use this on your brow, this in your crease, this in your crease, this in your outer corner, this in your outer corner, a bit of an even warmer colour there, and you could even do, like me, if you don't do mattes very often, there's a really nice matte look in here using this on your lid, this beautiful peach colour. And I think it's the only palette where I use a matte colour on my eyelid, because I've got a few matte palettes that I'm going to show you that I just use as kind of accompanying palettes. So if I had to choose one matte palette, it would be this one for sure, because I just think it's delicious. They're really, really easy to blend, go on beautifully, beautifully pigmented, and I've always said that to me the Too Faced matte shadows and the Illamasqua matte shadows as well are anti-aging shadows for me. They're never accentuate anything, they always just seem to smooth out my eyelids, so love that. So those are my 4 kind of ultimate, if I had to grab 4 palettes, I would grab these. But I still do have, like I said, quite a few other palettes, and there's reasons why I didn't include them. So I love this, and this would possibly have been included. This is the Lorac Unzipped. I don't use it that often, but it's one of those that every time I use it, I love the look. It's not that varied. You know, there's not that many different looks in there. It is pretty samey. But the reason I didn't include that is simply that I don't think we can get it anywhere in the UK. And so I don't like to include ones that we can't get in the country that I'm filming in. Next, I've got the Urban Decay Backtalk palette. This I love for the blushes as well as the eyeshadows. I don't know, it's not one I'd wear often. I'd wear the lighter colours occasionally, but the darker colours, there's something that I don't wear that much. But the reason for not including this is I don't think it's available anymore. They seem to bring this out and then it just disappeared. I don't know whether that was just a temporary stock problem. I'll see if it's available, but I remember I talked about it in a favourites, and then I went to link it for you guys and couldn't find it anywhere. This is the Anastasia Sultry palette that I have kept. Again, not one I'll use that often because there's gold colours in there, but I love it enough to not give it away, or to not, well, actually I don't sell them anymore. I send them to that Given Makeup in London. But I really like the quality of the Anastasia eyeshadows, and I do like these colours. It's just I don't wear golds that often, but again, it's one it's got everything in it, this palette. You know, it's got the brow colour, it's got the crease colour, it's got the outer corner colour, so it is a really useful palette. Another Anastasia one, the Modern Renaissance one. This one, you can see I've used this. This is a really good accompanying palette. You know, I like to have this in my makeup bag, and then I'll use it with pigments or, you know, in any other lid colour. And I actually used this morning. Was it Love Letter I used? Yeah, Love Letter. I put a bit of that in my brows. I don't think it shows that much, but the idea was I wanted my brows to be more matched to my hair. So that was really good. And yeah, it's really useful as an accompanying palette. But if I had to choose one accompanying palette, it would be the Too Faced one. They're more my colours. The Jaclyn Hill Bling Boss palette. This was my birthday present, so I don't really want to give it away, and I absolutely adore this colour. Is it that one? Bling Bling or Ballsy? No, this one. Do you remember when I was on holiday recently in Aviemore, I put a picture on Instagram of me wearing that colour because it's so unique. So this is one of those palettes where I only like 1 or 2 colours from it. And I'm not sure about the shadows, you know, they're starting to get a hard pan on them. But that's the colour. It's so beautiful. And I have never seen another colour like that. Really kind of multi-dimensional. But like I said, it's only really that and that one in the corner that I like in this palette. And I don't think they're particularly great for aging eyes, which, you know, is understandable. It was made by a very young woman. I've got the Viseart palette. This is the Viseart Mattes. Warm Mattes, I think this is called. Oh no, Neutral Matte. Neutral Mattes. Do you know what? That's coming apart. And if I'm going to try and glue that, but then it won't. No, I can't glue it, can I? Because then it won't bend. I tend to not use things once they're broken, but I do really like this, but I don't reach for it that often. I definitely don't think this one is worth the money. But it may be if you like mattes. You know, for me, I bought it when there was, do you remember what, this is when they just were becoming hot, when everybody wanted one of these Viseart palettes. And again, it's a really good accompanying palette, but for some reason I just don't reach for it. And if that completely breaks, then I probably will give it away. I don't even know if I would give it away if it's broken. That feels a bit weird to give it away. This is my second favourite matte palette, and it's the Tartelette. And I know that there's been a few come out since then that I've had a look at. There's a warmer one, isn't there? But I love this one. And again, you can see what colour was my favourite. But definitely a great accompanying palette. If I couldn't use the Too Faced one, I would happily use the Tartelette one. But again, we can't easily get hold of this in the UK, and so this is something I think I got from Sephora back when we could order from Sephora US, which we can no longer do. This is the Too Faced Natural Eye, and you can see from the packaging that this is old, because I think this one is still available, but it's in that metal packaging, I think, now. I don't think they do the cardboard packaging anymore. I didn't mind the cardboard packaging at all, but this one is kind of sentimental. And also, I do think the colours are beautiful. I really like this one in the middle. What is that called? Honey Pot. But when I discovered these, I just remember I was in a lot of pain with my joints and I was working in the NHS, and I just remember I'd wake up really excited to use this palette. I think it was one of the first palettes that I bought, and I always felt really nice. And I even used this one, which I don't think is in the new packaging. They removed this, what is it called? Nude Beach, is it? Or Silk Teddy? Silk Teddy. No, Nude Beach. This one, because it's very, very glittery, but I just adored it and was always very excited. So that's a bit sentimental, but I don't use it that often. I've got the Urban Decay Electric, which I was thinking about getting rid of, but I keep it because there's one colour I love. Well, I love this one as well, but I don't wear purple very much anymore. But this lime green called Freak, you'll have seen me wear quite a few times, and I just adore it. If you could buy it on its own, I probably would buy that and give the palette away, but I don't believe you can. This one I've talked about before. It's the Too Faced Chocolate Gold. Can't resist smelling it every time I use it. Love this palette. Love the quality of the shadows, but the only colour I really like on my eyes is this green. And I have tried to find a green like this in single eyeshadows, and so far I have not managed to do that, because again, if I find that colour, I would give this palette away. It's not that they're not good shadows, they're just, to me, they do make my eyes look older. Like I said, I love the Too Faced mattes. This is absolutely beautiful, and it's got the lovely sort of crease and outer corner colours and even a black, but in here the other colours for me just don't do my eyes any justice. Other than this one, I do really like this one. So if anyone knows a colour like that, let me know. I've got one small little one of these. I've got what are these called? Z palette, and I've got another Z palette that has nothing in it, so I do need to fill that. You know, I thought about taking out that green colour of the Urban Decay, and really over the last few months in a kind of simplifying everything, you know, getting rid of as much as I can, but I'm sure I've still got quite a lot to get rid of. These are kind of varied. That is Makeup Geek. I think that's Makeup Geek 2. That is Nabla Cosmetics. I think it's either Nabla Cosmetics or Makeup Geek in here. So yeah, again, I don't use this very often, but they're colours that I do really like, and probably should get rid of this because I don't reach for it. And the final one is the Jaclyn Hill palette, the bigger. It was in the same packaging as this, but was bigger. I really love these colours. I think that when I want a gold look, I reach for the Sultry palette, this one, because the colours are pretty similar. Look at this, they're pretty similar. But I do like it, so I'm definitely not giving it away because I do really like all of the colours. But again, as I said with the Sultry palette, I don't wear gold colours that much. But this colour, of course, I love this sort of peachy colour. So that's my big palettes. My small palettes sit on here. And you can see there's a lot of Viseart. These Viseart minis I just think are perfect for travelling, and you know, I love the quality of Viseart shadows, as you know. This is the one that I bought, the Rose Edit, that I don't love. I have barely used, and so I'm just undecided about that at the moment. The Naked Basics, I do love them. They are great accompanying palettes if you like. You can see that I have used, I think I prefer this one, which is the original, to this one, which is 2, but you can see I love that colour. But they're great palettes to have. There's a couple of old MAC eyeshadows here that I haven't got rid of. I've never worn them, so they're probably ones that will go. And then my Bare Minerals palettes, which again, Bare Minerals I love. The Bare Minerals Ready eyeshadows I don't think exist anymore, but they're beautiful. We've got, this one was a limited edition one that is just stunning. I've got a little one that's got blue in it. You will see me wearing this sometimes, a sort of bluey green. Isn't that cute? And what's in this one? This will be the Dream Sequence, which I adore as well. And again, this has got that lovely sort of purpley taupe colour in that I love. I'm going to take that little doodah out of there. Isn't it cute? So love those, but there's something I need to have a look through these and clear them out and maybe refill this I've got a little Makeup Forever one as well, but Makeup Forever used to be in Debenhams and is no longer there. I loved this colour. I do still love this colour, but I can't see Makeup Forever shadows in person anymore, unless I go to the Eye Mats show. I really would like to go to Eye Mats next year, especially if I lose the weight that I want to and I'm currently doing. I might well do that, and then I could see me buying more Makeup Forever eyeshadows because I do love them. There was 2 more sitting on the side there. The Viseart Liaison that I bought, I think it's beautiful, but I don't know whether I'll end up keeping it. I really want to try that purple colour, that matte colour, and see what I think. And then another Viseart one, which I think I've mingled the colours up in here. Don't know what it is called, but whatever it was called, it's got colours from, I had 3 of these and I just took the colours out that I wanted and put them into this one and then gave the other one away. That's everything for my favourite eyeshadow palettes. Let me know if you like these type of videos and I'll think about doing more. I'll list everything that's on my face in the description, and I'll speak to you again soon.